Once upon a time, there was a turkey named Gerald who thought he was a chicken. It wasn't entirely his fault. He'd been raised by a family of chickens on a farm. Every day, he'd strut around the yard, clucking as best he could. Of course, his clucks sounded more like deep, awkward gobbles, but Gerald was oblivious. One day, Farmer Joe decided it was time for Thanksgiving prep. He walked into the yard, eyes narrowing as he spotted Gerald. But Gerald, being the confident chicken that he was, strutted right up to Farmer Joe, flapping his wings dramatically. "You're looking plump," said Farmer Joe, rubbing his chin. Gerald puffed out his chest. "Cluck, cluck," he gobbled proudly, trying to impress the chickens who were all watching from a distance. They were terrible friends. None of them had the heart to tell Gerald that he wasn't actually one of them. Farmer Joe raised an eyebrow. "You're not clucking, Gerald." "Cluck, cluck," Gerald said more forcefully, as if adding extra enthusiasm would clear up any confusion. Shaking his head, Farmer Joe walked off to prepare for the big feast. Gerald strutted back to his flock, who were now giving him pitying looks. "What?" he asked. Gerald," said Peggy, the head chicken, nervously clucking. "Have you ever noticed you're a little bigger than us?" Gerald blinked. "Muscles," he said with a proud gobble. "And your voice, it's, deeper?" "Confidence," Gerald said, ruffling his feathers. Peggy hesitated. "And your, neck's a bit wobbly?" Gerald paused, looking confused. "It's just character, right?" But deep down, Gerald started to wonder. That night, he snuck into the barn and found a dusty mirror. As he gazed at his reflection, realization hit him like a ton of feathers. He wasn't a chicken at all. He was a turkey. And not just any turkey. He was the juiciest, plumpest, most delicious-looking turkey in the entire county. Gerald panicked. Thanksgiving was just around the corner, and he had heard the legends of what happened to turkeys this time of year. Desperate, he ran to the chicken coop to beg for help. "Guys, I've made a horrible mistake," Gerald gobbled, flailing his wings. "I'm not a chicken. I'm the main course." The chickens huddled together. After a long pause, Peggy spoke up. "Well, there's only one thing to do." The next morning, Farmer Joe returned with an axe in hand. But as he approached the yard, he froze in confusion. Where he expected to find Gerald, there was a large chicken, wearing a badly constructed chicken disguise made of straw and feathers, complete with a sign that said, "Totally a chicken." Gerald, shaking in his disguise, let out a very nervous cluck. Farmer Joe scratched his head. Must have been mistaken," he muttered, walking away. Gerald collapsed in relief as the chickens cheered. From that day on, Gerald remained the weirdest, most awkward chicken on the farm. But no one ever questioned it again. And every Thanksgiving, while the humans feasted, Gerald would gobble quietly to himself, grateful for his friends and for the shoddy disguise that saved his crispy hide.